This is Canucks Only.
This is Canucks Only.
Here are your hosts, Shylo Smith and Rob Young.
Well, good evening, Shylo. How are you?
Hey, Rob. Doing good, thanks. How are you doing?
Not too bad, not too bad.
Good.
Welcome to another episode of Canucks Only. It's Tuesday, July 21st. We are doing it on a Tuesday. Sometimes we do it on a Sunday. Sometimes we do it on a Monday. Today we're doing it on a Tuesday.
It's summertime. You never know what's going to happen.
Exactly. Welcome to Canucks Only on X. Welcome to Canucks Only on YouTube. I will try and get some more socials hooked up on that, but we are live on the World Wide Webs and talking Canucks. And as you so aptly kind of mentioned, what are we going to talk about today? Summer news. There's not much happening in Canuck land. My camera's out of focus here. Let me see if I can fix that. But actually, we'll get the ball rolling. Do you want to try pronouncing the new Abbotsford Canucks coach's name?
Coach Poppy.
Nice.
Yeah. No.
Papawanu, something like that. Anyways.
Yeah. Poppy. That's it.
There you go.
Coach Poppy.
There you go. Okay, so we touched on this a little bit last episode, and apparently UC Hokes, sounds like Ashoka from Star Wars. He turned down the coaching job because it was less than he was making in the OHL. Now, we've talked about this a little bit, about the money woes of the Aquilinis. What's your first reactions to less than the OHL? I mean, it's I don't know. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I don't know. I think they're utilizing the stage the team is currently in to justify not spending a whole bunch of money on anyone is pretty much what I'm thinking they're doing. But I don't know. Well,
it's and I agree. I think there's no need to go out and get a top-notch coach, as you were saying before we started recording.
Yeah.
But there is my only giant niggly on this is that if you're trying to reset culture, the damage that you're doing right now by saying we're going to pay low, which has happened with Evan Gold. It's come out that Ryan Johnson is making a very low salary. I'm assuming the Twins are as well. But that is part of culture, right? So that is part of the so this doesn't get corrected next year or shortly thereafter, because this is all around the court case.
Yeah.
It's a bad message out to the rest of the league. So, sorry.
Yeah, I know. I was actually just gonna back step on my comment because my initial thoughts were more around the Canucks.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the development team, the A's, first off, you're not going to lose a bunch of money by, it's not going to be, you're not hiring a $6 million coach. You know what I mean?
Right.
So the cost is not going to be painful, if you will. And regardless of it's, where the NHL team's at, you still want good coaching in the A. You want someone who's going to be able to develop, keep the game, keep the players engaged, as you talk about, hold that culture and develop that culture so that when they come out of the A, that they're already sort of have an understanding of that. So no, actually, I think, you got a point. They should be spending the money in the right places. I understand, again, wanting to save the money on the Canucks right now because they're going to have to pay for, a top-notch coach and coaching staff and all that stuff when this team gets to the point that it's vying for a playoff spot. But Abbotsford, they should be dealing with that right now. They should be preparing that right now so that it's setting up for, because they got to be just like with the players, right? They got to be a step ahead down there so that everyone's ready when they're coming up. So they should be spending the right amount of money on a proper coach down there to continue that development and build that culture and that mindset in Abbotsford.
Yeah, and so a little further that is that apparently I think Alex Edler's only part-time. I think he's in development. He's not coaching, right? Apparently, the Twins were the only two people in player development. Now there's part-timers. So they went from 2 full-timers with the Twins to all part-timers. So they're also saving money in development right now. So again, I get it. I'm trying to find the article. I want to state it accurately of what Ben Kuzma in his article stated, but it was like, he said intra-family mega battle. Like we're talking like, massive amounts of money that this lawsuit or this buyout potentially is inside the Aquilini family. So I'm of two minds. So yes, I get it on one hand, but but you're making your product suffer and then prices are going up on top of that. It's totally not aligned, right? With if you're trying to better your product, and sure, get all rookie head coaches and pay them just a little, but you still need resources and player development. You need it, like you said, in Abbotsford to make sure those guys are on the right path. It saves some money here and there, but they're saving money everywhere, including payroll, because Kuzma also said that they are looking to shave off $20 million off of the roster. And so let's just pull up Puckpedia real quick. So with the cap at 104, so he wants to shave off. So do you remember what they spent last year? I can't remember.
No.
Cap wise. I'm sure you could probably find it. So 104 is the ceiling right now. So that would put us at 84. So they're not going to spend obviously to the upper ceiling.
Yep.
And right now they're at 86 million. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, I think it's a little short-sighted. Like if you're starving for money and to take it out of operations, really, I don't know. I think that's I guess it could just backfire at the end, right? Right. It could just really, really hurt the development. You've got the chance for this rebuild and now you're cutting corners.
Yep.
So
yeah, I mean, it's something that might, hurt them in the long run. I don't envy the Twins in this scenario. I mean, you would hope that ownership would be like, here's the bank card, do what you need to do, right? But I don't know.
Kind of.
I mean, trust them to make the right and smart decisions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Give
I'm not
them
saying
a budget.
like just start spending a whole bunch of money for no reason. A respectful budget.
Yeah, and let them work with it, right? Because even someone pulled up the clip of Aquilini and says, and we will give them every resource possible to get the job done, talking about Twins coming in and whatnot, right? So,
oh yeah, Aquilini said that.
Yep. So, and resource doesn't mean I'm going to give you unlimited budget, but I don't think anyone's asking for unlimited budget at this point. I think we're just asking for. Well, they're lucky. They're a little lucky that the relationship with the Twins and RJ is good enough that they took that. Because really, who else would you end up with? If Evan Gold wasn't going to come, would another GM come in and take the salary and take it in Canadian dollars? And, that's the other thing is that everything's being paid in Canadian dollars.
Yeah, which is strange. Normally, your contracts everyone's doing them up in the U.S.
It's been U.S. dollars since the Brian Burke days. Because that was a big issue back around, was it that lockout? And they finally paid in U.S. dollars. And so, to the point where Alex McGillney lived in Point Roberts and he would drive in, right? So his primary residence was in Point Roberts.
I remember that. Yep.
Yeah. So anyways, I think it's bad optics. I think it's bad business. I think it's bad for us potentially. If we don't get burned by it, I mean, that's obviously fantastic, but I think that we're going to get a little bit burned by this. It's just setting a culture and a tone that, honestly, we don't need. Like, we don't need it. And if you're in the business of pro sports, I mean, I would imagine Aquilini is still in it for the long game for being the owner. But really, what if you're going to be the owner in the league where you're the cheapskate, like you can probably remember a couple of names from the past. I think it was the Bruins owner, Jacobs or whatever. I mean, you just remember those names over the years, like, whatever, it doesn't affect us, but you hear it and it's just not good, right? You don't want that. Like you said last week, that maybe players won't want to come there because of the ownership. And then, but this is a very direct thing too, right? Where it's like, no practice facility, which you mentioned, and they're paying all their guys the lowest rate for coaching and staff and whatever, and they don't have as much staff as everyone else. Like this might as well be a throwback to the mid 80s or early 80s at this point, right? So
yeah.
Frustrating. Hey, one thing that hasn't gone away in this last week or so is Shane Wright. Do you have any more thoughts? I have some more thoughts on Shane Wright. I'm just going to pull up some research here because, I mean, little secret, we don't do a ton of research. This is all off the cuff when we're talking on our podcast here. But I want to go, I'm just going to pull up something. But do you have any thoughts on Shane Wright?
No. Other than I don't want him to be a Canuck? Nope. Not really. I don't think much on people I don't want to be Canucks. And I don't want him to be a Canuck, so I don't think about him too much. Right.
So my fear is, and especially, I mean, this is not going away from the local media, and thank goodness I was watching a bit of Sakaris and Price, and they had Frankie Corrado, and he's the first person, I think, with a sane thought about this, because the conversation in town is like, well, we'll just give up Tom Willander for him. And I was like, no, please don't do that. Tom Willander is just, bristling with potential. Where he ends up in his career as far as like where that potential lands, but he's quick. He's a right-handed defenseman. He's young. He's bright. He's showing some offensive flair. I just go through some of these names here. Nail Yakupov, first overall. Where have you been lately, Nail? Hugh Yzerman, 12th overall, New York Rangers. Rusty Klesla, 4th overall. Al Montoya, 6th overall. There's the one also, I think it was Zadina. I think it was that's who Detroit took, right? They could have had Quinn Hughes. They really wanted him. And yeah, Philip Zadina. Oh, and Kotkaniemi, right? So
Kotkaniemi.
So I think Shane Wright had 19 goals last season. Let's just pull this up. So, burgeoning, he might turn into something. But he also might not. And I already like a lot of what what? Who said he scored 19 goals? He scored 12 goals last year, 15 assists, 27 points in 74 games. Like, so Adam Boquist.
Barrett Hayton, he went before Hughes too.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's definitely not in the stratosphere of even Brady Tkachuk, right? So it was an all-star. Svechnikov finally has turned something of his career. He's been hiding a little bit in Carolina. Like, I don't think his numbers are fantastic. Let's just pull up his career numbers.
He's okay. He's okay. He's sitting at just under a point per game.
Oh yeah, he had a great season last year. I mean, fantastic. But it took him all these years. So, 69 points. Okay, yeah, in his 4th year. But he's in his 8th year, right? So let's see here. And he had a great. Wow, no, he didn't have a great playoffs. He scored a couple of big goals. He was he's a bit of a wrecking ball as far as his style of play. And when you notice him, when he does something, you notice it. Like it's like, oh, that was pretty good. Yeah. So he's
a very physical player too. Yeah,
557 games, 434 points. So he's not a bust, right? Nope. So I would definitely not put him as a bust, especially as a number 2 overall. But Shane Wright is dancing with obscurity because this is this going to be his 4th year in the league? 2022. Yeah. So this will be his fifth season, and he has
78 points. Well, actually, that's career? Everything. NHL career 78 points, 169 games.
I don't know who is smoking what, but trading him for Tom Willander is one of the dumbest things I've heard in a long time. Yep. Like, it's crazy.
Yep.
Like straight up crazy. I don't care about his junior success. Like Tom Willander is getting better every game, like by far. And very excited to have him with Buium and DPD and, whoever, and Hronek, obviously. Did you hear that Hronek is stamped his, like, I am not going anywhere?
Yep.
That's awesome. So it's awesome and terrible all at the same time. We'll see what happens in a year. No,
I'm happy that he's staying. At least for now. It just becomes unfortunate if he does really well and we can't move him because
he doesn't want to go.
Because he doesn't want to go. So
yeah.
But I'm just gonna do something here real quick.
Okay.
You can talk. I'm doing some quick math conversions to see where Willander at his current trajectory where he sits after playing as many games as Shane Wright.
Well, and one thing here as well, that Shane Wright's been sent to the minors twice.
Mm-hmm.
So he went from his draft year, he played his 8 games, got sent down for 8 games in the AHL. He did okay, 4 goals, 2 assists in 8 games. Then he got sent back to junior. And then came back up 8 games the next year in 2023, 2024. And then he got sent down again.
Yep.
And he did okay in, so 19 goals was the year before last year. Okay, so that's what the 19 goals came from. And he went down to 12 goals.
Yep.
So I just don't know. I would not give up a prospect for him. I would give up maybe a draft pick, maybe
especially
a second.
Defenseman. I mean, we got some centers now. We have enough centers, and that's what he does. He's a centerman. Yeah. So unless they're sitting there going, oh, we know that we're moving Petey, and we need to fill that gap with someone that we don't care about and that's going to be cheap and that we can just either let the contract run out or, move off some other time or put them on a 2-way and throw them down. Unless they know that that's going to happen and that's why they're looking at him. But to get rid of Willander for him is absolutely asinine. Like the guy's a stud at 21 years old, and he's still got 6 more years of development until he hits my little happy 27-year-old defenseman stage and
peak defenseman, right?
And if you look at, just did some quick math here, and if you look at, if he continues on where he is currently, by the time he gets to 169 games, he would be expected to be around the 52.5 points.
Yeah,
which is below Shane Wright, but he's also a defenseman. And he's doing a lot more than just scoring goals or, putting pucks in the net. He's also going to improve upon that because when you look at his stats, like he's had 1 season with the Canucks, he's had 16 assists. All that is going to go for him. It's going to go nowhere but up. So anyway, I don't like Shane Wright, and I like it even less that we're going to move pieces if they need to get them.
Yep.
If they have to, then, or if they're trying to use them to, like I said, fill a spot, don't give away youthful assets for him. Don't give away any assets for him. He's not worth it.
No, not unless you're going to give if you're going to give a poorly performing prospect for poorly performing prospect, fine. If you want to
like if we'll do a PD swap for him, sure,
absolutely,
I'd be okay with that.
Okay, so finally found the tweets about Shane Wright. So I replied to his Canuck Quest, so off of the Canucks Only as well. One tweet says, I had a highly respected NHL scout tell me in Seattle press box 2 seasons ago that he'd rather have Logan Morrison than Shane Wright. Who is Logan Morrison?
Don't know.
Right. And funny. He was replying to another one that says, all these folks blaming the Kraken for Wright's failure to develop. He has shown no consistent sign of potential. That's on him. And so I asked a question, hoping to get a response about, is it an attitude issue about the draft day stare to the Montreal table? Anyways, and these are in and around the Kraken. This is not inside the Kraken, but these are people watching the Kraken. This is their bloggers and media people, right? So
Logan Morrison has played 4 NHL games, 0 points, 0 assists, 0 penalty minutes. He basically looks like he's a professional AHL player right now.
And
he does well in the AHL. Like he's
a scout saying he'd rather have him than Shane Wright. So, and there's I just scrolling through the timeline. I'm not going to call anyone out on the because I'm fans of some of these accounts, but they're like that the Willander for Wright sounds like a great deal. I'm like, no way, no, thank you. Oh, painful.
Yeah.
I mean, there is something to be said for. I wish I knew more about advanced analytics, truly, but really my eyeball test and, and stats are at the end of the day, stats are not everything, but really he has not impressed. He's not impressed for 4 years. And, Seattle not being a great team is not helpful, but if he comes to the Canucks, we're not a great team either. So that's not going to help his career at all. So painful.
Like I said, I personally just don't like him.
Yeah.
So I'm not interested in him playing on the Canucks at all.
Right.
Especially if we're giving up an asset. Like I said, if it's 1-for-1 for PD, or if it's they're just, they made a trade. They trade PD to Pittsburgh, and they're looking to fill a spot, and they picked him up for a bag of pucks.
Yeah.
Sure.
Would you trade a Ty Mueller for him? I mean, would you trade? I wouldn't even trade Sasson for him.
No, I wouldn't trade Sasson for him either.
No. That's the level of like how much I'd rather not have him than give up one of our guys.
I'll trade Evander Kane for him.
Do we still have him?
I don't know, but I'll trade Evander Kane for him.
There you go.
That's about
there's
it.
Your bag of pucks.
Really...
it's not meant to be disrespectful, but we don't own Evander, so there's your bag of pucks. Okay, we'll move on to the next talking point here. Connor Bedard, $15 million a year.
Yep.
So there's a couple things there. One is, what do you think of the salary?
Yeah, I mean it's interesting. It's a lot of money. Like, I mean, we sort of talked about the how the cap's going to go, right, and how far up it's going to go. So, like right now, what's the percentage that he's at? And I like this whole percentage.
It's going to be lower than Leo Carlson.
Yeah. So right now he is.
Was he 15%?
I'm clicking. And it looks like, I think, he's about 15%. Sounds about right. But let's see. 14.42%. So he's under 15% at 15 million. So, like, right now, it might be like, ooh, that's a lot of money. But honestly, I think when he's in the middle of this contract, it's gonna be looking like a steal. Because he's only going to be getting better. And then they're going to turn around and be like, oh, wow. Like, hey, we're only paying 15 million for him. Because remember what's going to happen, right? We're going to have all these other players that are going to be getting signed now, and they're going to be extended above and past the Connor Bedards and Connor McDavids and, all these guys. And they're going to be making
22, 23, somewhere around there.
Right.
So the way I've always kind of looked at it, because it was funny, because back in the day when Jeff Courtnall signed his $400,000 contract, I think it was after the Canucks, he was making more than Gretzky. So my theory since about then was, whoever the top player is, top salary, how do you compare to the top player in the league making the most money, and where do you fall in step in and around that, right? So I think we use the example of I think Stamkos. When Sid was making his 8.7, and I think Stamkos was making 9 something. And Sid always let Malkin make more than him because of his endorsement deals. He always would have potentially made a lot more than Malkin overall.
Yeah.
But in this case, it's all out of whack for a couple of years. And if we've got 2 more years of salary cap going up. So right now, I don't know what the max salary will be next year or the year after, but right now it's 20.5. And so that's probably 20, close to 20% for the salary cap.
Yep.
But if McDavid's making, let's just say he makes 22, right? That's not out of the realm of impossibility if that's the ceiling. That he's going to make 75% or 70% of McDavid and you get Bedard.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like for the terrible trades that Chicago did earlier, they did some repair on that in signing this contract because that's a fantastic contract.
Yeah.
I thought for sure he was making the 17 or 18. And the second thing about that is that I don't know if you noticed, but Canucks Twitter exploded. Because it walks him right to free agency.
Yep.
So there goes the offer sheet theory, which was not a super great theory, but it definitely was possible. But now it was only that it was not great because it would have really hampered us. You would have had a great team, but it really would have hampered you.
Yep.
And so, if you want to build,
there'd be a high risk, high reward type thing, right? Like you would have great players, but you might not have a great team.
Right.
And you'd have nothing coming up in the pipe to improve.
Yeah.
Right. So if they didn't work together, then you're the Edmonton Oilers before McDavid for 6 years.
Except with Celebrini right behind him too. So this just makes it simple and clean. So if it is possible and Bedard still wants it in 5 years, he that's what he's going to do, right? That's what we're all expecting because him and Celebrini are both from here and 5 years from now, oh baby, this team could be really primed and you add two of the top players in the league at age 26, 27, barring
if the
any
Canucks do everything right and they build this team up so that in 5 years they're playoff contenders. Bedard turns around and goes, you know what? I think I'm ready to go there now.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, for sure.
Yeah. So, and that might be a better thing because you might have a great team and then all of a sudden you're adding a great player. So when you got a great team and you're adding greatness to it, it's just going to be, that much better. So,
yeah. And the following year is Celebrini at UFA. So he's on the verge of the same deal, right? I don't think he'll sign for 15. I think he'll probably sign for more than Bedard did, which is interesting. And he doesn't have to sign
he
till
will
next year.
because he's going to be like the cap percentage. Even if by the time he gets to sign, he's going to be in what year? Like 2 years from now, right? Is it 2 years from now?
I think he's going into his final year. So Bedard was in his final year. So Celebrini, they're only, I think, 1 year apart, right?
I think he's an RFA in 27-28.
7-28, which is next season.
27-28. Next season's 26-27.
Yeah. So after this season, the next season, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's in his final year of his entry deal.
So that's going to be that'll be the second cap bump.
Yeah, totally.
So he might, even if he was to sign at 14% of the cap hit, he's still going to be getting more money than Bedard.
Yeah. And Bedard took a haircut for that. He didn't have to take 15.
Yeah.
So interesting.
Anyway.
Very exciting. If it happens, this is the ultimate EA version of Canucks stuff at this point, right? So, but again, the thought around the offer sheets was that this is an extremely unique situation where these two of the top 7 players in the league are from Vancouver and want to be Canucks, right? And then you'll have Malhotra in 5 years in now, hitting his stride, right, at age 23.
Yep.
They just have to have the goalie and a solid decor at that point. So
yeah.
Well,
they got the D sort of. They got some good pieces. But yeah, goaltending. That's going to be interesting. What are they going to do?
So just real quick, and we hadn't talked about this, but what do you think Buium's going to sign for? What do you think his number will be on an AAV?
Buium?
Yeah.
No, offhand. I'd have to really think about that because with the Canucks, I think he played 45 games, 12 points. So he was at 0.27 points per game. 33 minutes. He was, he was a good player. I think he's got good potential.
Yeah.
But you got a lot of good potential D players right now and coming up.
Yeah.
So what would I don't know. I'd probably keep him in like, and this might sound really cheap, but I am really cheap, but I'm like, like I'd probably do something along the lines of, and I don't like the idea of let's make a contract for someone based on what they might do.
Mm-hmm.
So I've never been a fan of those. So for me, I'm always about the shorter contracts with a little bit less money. Prove to me that you what you've done, and I'll reward you with that. So I'm sort of like, I'd sign up for like at most be a like 3x3.
Yeah.
I'd be like,
so I don't think that'll fly because I think I think Cotter is making 3. You know what I mean?
I know.
So where
is he really? Cotter's
2.1. So
yeah.
Brendan Gallagher makes 3.2. I think that realistically, that Buium's going to go on a short-term deal around 7 to 9 million.
Oh, I hope not.
Yeah, but I think if they're smart, if they map out the years to it'll be the classic bridge deal because if you can time it to where the salary cap is going to go up again on that, so he's hitting it pretty good. So this is year 1. So he gets year 2. So if he does like a 3-year contract, I think he's going to get around 7-8 million because there's a lot of mid-tier. It also depends on his year this year. If he keeps a very poor pace, because right now he's played 76 games in the NHL and he's got 41 points.
Mm-hmm.
So if he keeps that up at a half point a game type thing. I mean, if you start looking for comparables, let's just pull up the NHL stats and see what we got. I think that the new contracts they're signing for is going to be around 7 or 8, maybe closer to 9. But you do a 3-year deal, and then if he lights it up, and he's performing at Quinn Hughes light, then it'll be a fantastic deal. It's like getting Quinn Hughes at 7 million for as long as we did. You're like, oh my goodness, this is incredible, right? So let's just pull this up real fast.
Like, I'd go like 4x4. I'm so cheap. I mean, dude, like his NHL career right now, he's at 0.34 points per game, right? He's like 0.08 goals per game. He's was he 19, 21 now? No, he's 21 now, right?
Is he?
Yeah, he's 21. I don't know. I mean, for me, I'm just kind of like,
yep. So would you say 47 points is a good halfway measure for a defenseman for half point a game?
Yeah, half point a game.
So do you know who had 47 points last year?
On the Canucks or just in general?
No, a defenseman.
Yeah.
Noah Dobson.
Oh yeah.
So that's at 10. Phil Peronic had 49 points.
Mm-hmm.
And he makes his 7 mil, but he signed 2 years ago, right?
Yeah,
so
he was also at
I think he's going to get like an 8.75 somewhere around there.
Mm-hmm.
Vince Dunn 44 points. I don't know how much Vince Dunn makes, but Bowen Byram he had 42 points last year, and he's making 12. So the writing is on the wall for these. Unfortunately, for these, Matthias Samuelsson had 41 points. My goodness. Slept on him in my pool. I can't even tell you anything about Matthias Samuelsson other than people talk about him. And he got 41 points. He was a plus 41. Oh my gosh. As a very young defenseman, how old is this guy? That's crazy. He is, he's 26. Okay. I mean, he's a mature defenseman. There's your theory, which I 100% agree with. Adam Fox got 53 points. And we can only go with new contracts moving forward. Okay, Brand Clark. He got 40 points. And he just signed I think he signed for 9 million. No, sorry, 7.4. So he's going to get more than that. Only because the cap's going up. And he signed for till 2031. So he went from entry to 7.4 million. And he signed long term. That's actually historically, I don't think he has had a lot of points. famously traded him away with Celebrini in my long-term pool. You're welcome, Darren. 40 points. Yeah, 33, 6. Yeah, he's on the same trajectory as Brant Clark in LA. So, I bet she's going to be an 8.75.
Okay.
But only for 3 years, and then if he does well, he'll sign a monster contract after that. He'll get up into his 14 million a year. So for offensive D, if he lands as well as he's projected to land as mini Quinn Hughes, right? So
yeah, I mean, I would expect to see a point jump then, but so here's the thing though, this team is not strong right now.
Yeah,
and I feel sorry for some of these guys that are going to be like, Buium, where, he might not be able to generate a lot of, because, if the rest of the team isn't that great, guess what you're going to be doing, right?
Yeah.
You'll probably be playing a lot more defense than you are offense. You're going to probably be, making a decent play and someone's not capitalizing on it. And that impacts your assists and whatnot. So when people look and they go, oh yeah, and that's where the Corsi comes into play and all that. But, how much are you touching the puck? How often are you with it? Where are you? How many shots are you getting through and all that? Yep. But because the team's so bad, they might be like, hey, you're not quite there yet where we want to see you.
Yep.
But here's a little, they're gonna be like me. They're gonna be cheap. So.
Well, it is. I think Petey got injured right before signing his contract, and I think that we got a tiny bit of a discount on that. But part of the best news for Zeev is that there's no one ahead of him in the lineup on the left side. Like he's the number one left D, right? And if you're going power play time, it's Hronek and Zeev going to do their stuff because Willander's a right-handed shot. He's not going to play the left side point most likely. Then it's D Petey, then it's Oleksiak, and then it's Shen. And then it's Mancini, who's a right shot. So he's going to have every chance to succeed on the power play. And that alone, getting the whole year, not being in the middle of a traded season, he's guaranteed going to project up on that, right? So he got 12 points. I mean, he's automatically going to be hitting like 30, 35 points next season.
Okay.
So, let's see here. Well, they split the points. Wait a second. That's not true.
Because he had 31 games in the Wild, right?
Yeah. So he had 26 points last year. So
total.
Yeah. So it's only 12 with us. So 26 points. So he's easily getting 35 points. He might even hit 40 because he's going to be getting the automatic power play time. So
we'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, look. He was not getting a lot of ice time. He was not getting a lot of play in the Wild, right? And he still walked with 14 points in 31 games.
Yeah.
And then he came here and did 45 games and got less points.
Right.
So that's a reflection of what I was saying before, right? The team that he's playing with, you put him on the Wild and he plays way less minutes, way less games, and he gets more points.
Yeah. He was almost playing 2 minutes more here with the Canucks.
Yeah. And getting less points. So it's going to be tough because, like I said, I honestly, I don't think we're going to see like that much of an uptick. If he breaks 35 points, I'll be like, that's impressive because that's going to take a lot from him to do that. Yeah. Because he's got to overcome his own growing pains, and then he's got to overcome the growing pains of the team.
Yeah.
And then he's got to overcome the deficiencies of the team. To get to that point. So if he gets past 35, I'll be like, what? Sign him for $7 million.
Yeah.
Yeah,
totally.
Because I don't think he's going to break that. I don't think he's got enough support with this team where it's at to actually be able to break that sort of goal period, right? Yeah. Not next season.
Well, and Alex Edler's on part-time staff, so he'll help him out.
But he can't help out the rest of the team. It's not about Buium, right? It's more about everything else that's going on around him.
Yeah.
And
for sure.
How do you develop, like, Alec, if Edler's working with him part-time, he's probably going to help him develop, but the team sucks. Right? And if you're in your defensive zone for, 60% of the game, guess what you're not doing?
Just occurred to me that Ratu should actually hire Adam Oates as Horvat did to take his game to the next level. I think that would be good because he needs to improve his skating. It's a little off topic, but skating first. But Ratu's got a lot of tools at his disposal besides minus his skating. His shot's pretty good. He's strong, so
he's got a decent shot. He's good on the half wall. He's amazing on the dot. I love the kid, to be honest. And yeah, I would love to see him sort of up his skating game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? Maybe he's been with the power skating coach all summer. You know, I mean, it's not like it would be a surprise to him for someone to say, you know, hey, you need to work on your skating. Like, I think it's pretty clear.
Yeah.
So smart move would be to do that all summer long, work on your skating, right? Develop and then come back and you know, be the Bo Horvat, right? Where, like you said, and with Bo Horvat, really, it was just a couple of little things that they did. Like, he's not an amazing skater per se.
Yeah.
But they did do, you know, like his takeoff, right? And if you can outstride someone in those first 3 strides, then, you know, everything after that really is just going to kind of gravy it, because really, you know, hockey's played in that first, you know, 15 feet. And if you can stay with the guy, you're going to look like a rock star. If you can outpass him, you're going to look like a rock star. But if you can't, within that 15 feet, if you can't catch up to him or you can't break away from him, then that's when it looks bad, right?
Yeah, totally. Hey, so Jason Robertson, 1-year deal, $12 million. I have Dallas's page pulled up. Thoughts on, he was asking for 15. So what do you think happened there? Besides the fact that Dallas has no cap space.
Yeah, they're like in the minus for cap space right now.
They are. They've got a couple of their injuries. I'm a little shocked at the injuries because Rupe Hintz is still out till September. He's listed, and Tyler Seguin. So I wonder what's going to happen with Sagan's. He's a UFA after this season. So is he's 34. But
sorry, did you say Jason Robertson?
Yeah.
Did he sign?
Yep, he signed a 1-year just this evening, just like an hour and a half ago.
Oh, okay. Wow. And he signed a 12. What was it? 12 million a year?
12 million for 1 year. 1-year deal. He's banking on himself.
Yep.
Pray for no injuries for Dallas fans.
Yep.
Jamie Benn took another
hometown
haircut.
Discount.
Yeah. Went from 1 million to 850. He's, you know, I mean, Dallas is still a perennial at this point. Mikko Rantanen, he signed for till 2033 at 12 million. Yep. I wonder how he feels right now because
knowing what's going to happen. Like I said, this is something where you're going to see guys coming up like Wyatt Johnson. The guy's a stud, right? Actually, he's signed for a long time too. So, but anyone else coming up in their backside,
there's going to be certain teams: Montreal, Carolina, Chicago. Anyone that got their business done in the last 28 months is laughing. They're laughing. They've got about a 5-year window where they're like, they will have a competitive advantage over the rest of the league because they got ahead of it, whether they knew it or not. But it doesn't really matter. But
like
just a little bit of
Caulfield, that Russian guy or Slavikovsky. But like, you know, those guys are they're locked in at like discount. Like in 2 years, they're going to be the low end of
everything.
Of everything.
And 2033 for Slavkovsky. That's quite incredible, actually.
Yeah.
So that's
7.5. Like, are you kidding me?
It's a great deal. But they got so they got their top 3 kind of set. Suzuki he'll be 30 when his next contract's up.
Yeah. But like Newhook. So that's the thing. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Newhook. He comes in and he's gonna be like, hey, like, I'm worth $9 million. Right?
I mean, that's when you like sayonara.
But you know what
I don't think
right?
so. Yeah, I don't think so.
These guys are going to come in and they're going to be like, okay,
so rightfully so.
You know, in 3 years, where the caps are, where the money is at. Alex Newhook might be a $9 million player.
Yeah, he's 2.9 right now.
No,
Yeah, he probably signed for about 6 or 7, probably 7. Yeah, they're not as set as I thought they were. Although in D they got Dobson at 9.5. Lane Hudson,
yeah, they got their D locked
20,
up.
34.
Yeah, they
and
got
Mike
their
Matheson,
D locked up.
Their D is fine. Okay, so they need help on forward, but with that D core and then Dobish, he's locked in for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, they're in pretty good shape. Plus that Jacob Fowler is like supposed to be the goalie of the future there too. Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do there. But I picked him up in my long-term pool.
But I mean, the nice thing is like having your top 3 forwards locked in long term at like $7 million. You're going to be able to bring a lot of good talent in and make things happen. You know what I mean? Like you can be like, hey, we're going to spend, 5.5 million on someone, bringing them in. Josh Anderson, right, on a short term, deal just to fill a spot that we need. Like they're going to have a lot of room to play with, especially as the cap keeps going up, right?
Yeah, Buffalo's also in pretty darn good shape. How much room do they have right now? 5 million, but they've got a lot of staggered. Rasmus Dahlin's the only one over 10 million.
Yeah.
Even Owen Power is locked up at 8 million. Zach Benson. There's a lot of funny videos of Zach Benson. Apparently, he's quite the character in the room.
Yeah. Josh Doan.
Yeah. Next on my list to talk about is Stevie Y.
Mm-hmm.
And it's now Stevie bye-bye.
Mm-hmm.
What's your thoughts on he got 7 years into the rebuild? What's your takeaways on sort of what just sort of what happened? Not even like how he got exited, but really because the comparable is really we're in rebuild, he got in charge of the rebuild and he got jettisoned. So what's your takeaways from that with as respect to what we need to learn from that?
I don't know. I think it was with him. There's also a bit of like personality. Like he's a very strong personality.
Okay.
And sometimes when you're trying to get a team out of like not a slump, but like but out of like missing the playoffs repeatedly for a long time, and I don't know. I think maybe he just tried to push it than he did try to finesse it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? I don't know. It's tough to make sense. The era that he was a general manager, no move clauses and no trade clauses are things that they're still huge.
Yeah.
But it's like they're handcuffing. You know what I mean? So that when you have a player that you're basically like, okay, we have to move this guy, but now you might have issues with trying to get rid of him, right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, he's a lot like if you actually look at what he built on the team, he did not like. He only had 3 players in his whole tender. He only had 3 players that were 8 million or more on a cap hit.
Oh wow. Okay.
So it's like he wasn't willing to. He had 143 player or contracts under 2 million.
What I'm looking at the moment, and I think this is probably the more telling of the tape is that one. I mean, how many impact players have they drafted and that are on the lineup right now that he drafted? And I think that ultimately is the reason
0.
that, well, he's got at least 2 or 3. So he's got Lucas Raymond. He drafted. So his first pick, remember he went off the board and picked Seider? He went way off the board. Seider was ranked way higher than he was picked. So he was picked 6th overall. And I think he was ranked closer to 20 or something like that, 12 or 20 or something like that. He went off the board.
Mm-hmm.
And then Lucas Raymond.
Yeah.
And then the next year, the first pick was Simon Edvidson, who's playing. Then Marco Casper. Now is Casper playing?
Yeah,
he's on the roster.
Yeah, he's RFA next year.
Yeah, and then Sandine Pellica the next year. and then Emmett Finney. He got 2, but they picked him at 201st overall in the 7th round for Emmett Finney. He's playing. And then 2024, I don't think there's anyone playing. And then 2025, and there's no one playing. And then this draft. So I think really I used to have a personal theory that Detroit had the best psychics in the league assisting the scouting department for those last round, picks of, let's just see here. Let's go way back here. Because they picked Datsuk in the 6th round. Let's see who else. They had a bunch of horseshoes way back.
Mm-hmm.
And besides the Fab 5 Russian players that they had, they seem to get lucky a lot as far as their draft picks. Anyways, I was talking to my brother about this. He goes, "Yeah, it's like when you don't have those magic scouts anymore." And I'm not sure who the scouts are in Detroit, but I think ultimately, that's really kind of the death of him. Is that he didn't draft very well, and the results are on the ice. There's this middling, team. All the rest are trades. DeBrincat, Andrew Kopp, JT Compher, Victor Arvidsson is new. Mm-hmm. Michael Rasmussen, who's from Langley, I believe. I think he was a draft pick. Mason Appleton. They just traded for Kolasar. Yeah, no one of note, right? So Justin Falk ended up there now. Ben Sherratt. Anyways, just lots of misses on the drafting. So now for Stevie Y to get ousted, he must be. Well, I mean,
we say he's ousted. He's still there. He's doing his senior advisory role for Illich, but yeah. Anyway, but to get yanked from his position definitely is a bit of a shocker, if you will.
Yeah, totally. I mean, that would be like Linden get ousted as he did. So it's very, very akin, the same thing. Well, but
yeah, I mean, it's more. Yzerman hasn't been successful. Linden wasn't given the chance to be successful.
Yeah.
So I think this one, like, we're looking at it and it's like, what have you done for me lately? He's been doing it since 2019.
Yeah.
And what's the team done in that, in that time? So
they've missed the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So not great on their part, that's for sure.
Yep.
So, all right. Well, lastly, I asked you if you had seen the schedule for the back-to-backs. Did you find anything on the Canucks schedule?
Yeah, I got the schedule here. They got some back-to-backs, it looks like. There's, I don't have, let's see. I can actually change this to show me.
Yeah, the sleep doctor I was mentioning that was there under Gillis's regime. They had him on Sakaris and Price. Mm-hmm. And his quote was, so his name is Dr. Byrne. He said, "I've been doing this for 18 to 20 years across all the different leagues, and this is one of the biggest messes I've ever seen as it pertains to the Canucks schedule this season."
Mm-hmm.
So, and then as I was telling, he also went on to say that Benning and Linden also threw out all of their work on the sleep research when they took over the Canucks at that point, which was a little surprising. You think that competitive advantage-wise, us, Edmonton, Calgary, now Seattle, LA, we're in tough for travel schedule. You think you'd want all the intel you could ever get your hands on to give your team a competitive edge? Because he said that one year with the Canucks, they figured it out and they gained points out of figuring out better sleep schedules for them. Although they said that with the new mandated NHL days off, it shaved probably 15% off the actual execution of that, because there's mandated days off where the players can't travel now.
They only have 9 back-to-backs.
So
it's not that many, not compared to last year. There's way more last year.
Let's see here. One thing he was talking about too is the time change. With our lack of time change,
Oh, and everyone else doing it.
It's also going to be back and forth. Apparently, we're going to have 8 p.m. games this season because of it.
Oh yeah,
interesting. So there's the January road trip from January 18th to the 30th. The Canucks play 7 games in 12 nights. Colorado, Nashville, Chicago, Pittsburgh, Minnesota, Dallas, and St. Louis. That's nuts. That's crazy.
Sorry, what are you looking at? The last 2 weeks in January?
So they have a 7-game road trip in January, starting January 18th.
Yeah.
But it's 7 games in 12 nights.
Yep.
Yeah, crazy. Anyways, and I guess with the extra games this year in the schedule, it's going to be not as bad as the Olympics, but it's going to be also more condensed than normal. So,
yeah, they're playing like every other night. There's not a lot of, let's see, well, January, they got 4 days off in mid-January. 2 days. October, they got 3 days off, but most of it is like 1 days, some 2, mostly 1s. Like October is almost, it's like 1 day play, 1 day play, 1 day play, 2 days play, 1 day play, 1 day play. There's it's a pretty tight schedule.
Yeah.
But like I said, there are less back-to-backs, and there's no back-to-backs and then back-to-backs. Like I think they had 2 or 3 of those last year, but just because of the condensed schedule, right? Where they did 2, like a back-to-back, and then they had a day off, and then it was a back-to-back. So they don't have any of those.
Every 2 days, and let's see here. Every 2 days. Wow. On average.
Yep. Yeah, they got a lot. They got a lot of hockey. But like I said, I don't think it's going to be as strenuous, right? It's still going to be tough, but it's not going to be, like I said, last year they had that, they had back-to-back day off and then back-to-back. That, 4 games in 5 days type thing. Yeah. So.
All right. Well, it sounded a lot more doom and gloom when they were presenting it on the Sekeres and Price there. Oh my gosh.
It's Sekeres and Price. They're doom and gloom. I'm looking at this and I think this is a decent schedule.
March is wall to wall. Oh my gosh, it's crazy.
Okay.
Anyways.
Yeah. March is going to be a tough one. But again, they still back to back and then they got 2 days off. Play a game, 2 days off, and then another back to back. And then it's just, but at least these ones are all at home, right? So they're back to back and then day off, game, day off, game, day off, game, but that's all home. So there's no travel. There's, that's going to be pretty decent, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, no, I'm good with this schedule. I think this is, I haven't gone into it in depth because, you've got to look at the travel as well, right? Like how many, but like November, they play Philadelphia, then they have 3 days off, and then they play the Rangers. That's a nice break.
Yeah, November looked okay. There's a week of that's the All-Star break there.
Yeah, it's All-Star break.
January 9th to 13th or 10th to 13th, there's 4 days off there.
Yep.
No, not so bad, but then it gets crazy again. So,
well, it's road trip with
anyways,
back to back.
You'd think with I'm
okay with the schedule, to be honest. Like I said, I haven't gone into depth with it yet. Columbus to Toronto. That's not that bad of a flight, right?
Columbus, no, it should be fine.
So this sounds like, I was just looking at March, right? So it's Buffalo, Columbus, Toronto, back to back with Ottawa. So that might be a hard stretch there.
And it's not just us. It's just the unique challenges of being on the West Coast and in the West alone, but then being, that far. I heard that Edmonton's travel is actually a little worse than ours because it's just flights in and out of Edmonton, but everyone's got it. So it's not just like one team. So it is what it is. In the immortal words of Todd Bertuzzi. Well, that's all I got, my friend. Anything else you wanted to chat about? That's all I got for this evening.
No, that was good. Let's see, did I have anything here? No. I got nothing. Other than I'm excited for my fantasy hockey to start up.
Nice. Which one are you doing? Yahoo or something, or is it?
Yeah, we got a
pool.
We have it's a private private one. We use Yahoo. It's private.
Nice.
But there's you can't keep your first rounders. So there's no keepers for first round.
Can't keep. So how does that work?
Well, that means that the first round. So, actually, it's pretty fun because if someone picks, McDavid's always first round, right? He's going first, second, or third easily, right? McDavid, McKinnon, Kucherov, right? Those are guys. McCarr, like those are the guys going, right? And Draisaitl. So that means everyone has a chance every season to pick them up, and then you have your keepers after. So you can't keep everyone, but you can keep them. But as an example, I picked up Wyatt Johnson in, I think it was the 14th round.
Whoa. And
so I can keep him forever, and all I have to do is give up my 14th round pick. So one of the guys picked up Celebrini in the 6th round.
Wow.
So he gets to give up his 6th round pick and keep Celebrini for the rest of the.
I see.
He can keep him forever.
Okay.
So Celebrini will never become a first round pick unless he dumps him or, whatever.
I see.
Yeah. So those first rounders are always, the big beasts are always in the play. But if you sneakily grab, like Bedard went first, and some of those big planned guys are going first, right? Like, what's his name for Toronto? The new kid,
McKenna.
McKenna's going to go first, right?
Right.
Like you can guarantee it. But if you can sneak a guy in like 6th round, like Celebrini did, or like I did with Wyatt Johnson in 14th round, then you get to hold them, and that's the fun part, right? Where you're holding these guys that are just like, you're like, well, this was sick. I'm so glad I got them, right?
Yeah, that's crazy. That's fun. I never heard of that before.
Yeah, it's kind of fun.
That's cool. Right on.
Anyway, but that's it, bud. All right, that's all.
Well, we'll wrap it up for another episode of Canucks Only. Thanks everyone for joining us. You can get this posted to all the usual places, but thanks for everyone that's listening, and subscribe, and you might see some of our Gorilla merch starting to be hidden around town.
Hit places.
Yeah, exactly. So got some little bit of promo items printed up. And should probably get some more stuff. We should talk about that. Get some things made up.
So we can talk about that.
Yeah. All right, Shylo, have yourself a good night.
You too.
And we'll talk to you in the next one on Canucks Only.
You betcha.
Talk to you then.
Thank you for watching Canucks Only.
Canucks Only. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, share, and subscribe.